Alright, how we doing, folks? Your boy Marcos over here, game number 29 that I went through this year, man. And we've been picking up some heat right now. Man. We've been picking up some heat in terms of games that I've been beating, man. This is Gears of War. This is the Ultimate Edition version, which is basically the remake of Gears of War 1, and they added the PC stuff in there. They patched in a bunch of other nonsense over there, and I think there's some extra stuff in the multiplayer as well. But in terms of the single player, which is what we're going to be touching on here, it's Gears of War, man. What more do you want me to tell you? It is literally the same good old game. Remember now, it's interesting to see because Gears 2 and 3 kind of took the franchise in a different direction, and I think a qualitatively better direction for the most part. You know, I still would like a little more of the horror element and the tension element that this game provides instead of the raw machismo of the second and third game, but they're all good in their own right. But in terms of mechanically, that was definitely the better way to go. I was playing on the second hardest difficulty, which I think might be hardcore. I don't think it's called veteran or something like that. I don't know. But the second hardest, I didn't go on insane just because I was playing by myself over here throughout the game. Dom is kind of a useless character when he's just a a computer-controlled character. This is about either chapter 5 or chapter 4. This is close to the end of the game over here, and these are some of the missions that were added in Act 5. Yes, so this is chapter 5. These are some of the missions that were added in the PC version that never made it to the Xbox. This is actually the first time I was ever playing it, which is pretty cool. And it's pretty cool to see how you take down a Brumach. You know, in the Xbox one, you just kind of run away with them, and that's it. And it's really interesting where they added it. I was always curious to see where this extra content was at. I never really looked in to see what it was at. I just kind of wanted to see if I could figure out what it was. But when you escape Marcus's parents' house, you instead of just showing up at the next area and like doing the whole train sequence, you have this intermediate part where like the power's down or whatever, and you got to go through this whole little sector or area, and there's Brumachs chasing you, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty tight, and it's pretty ridiculous that you got to take down this Brumach over here. So it was definitely a fun addition over here. I would definitely actually give it an out a lot of the packs. So if you're looking to get an Xbox One, like I would definitely get. I saw a deal that was absurd. I mean, it might have been like 400, 450 bucks. I don't remember how much. I don't even know how the system costs anymore. Whatever it costs, but it comes with Gears, Ori and the Blind Forest, and Rare Replay. Wow, that's a pretty damn good deal. I would definitely cop that right there. I gave this a 9 out of 10, man, because it has some of the flaws that the original Gears comes, in terms of just implementation, not that much variety, like weaponry. It's more so just comparing it to the second and third one when you speak of something like that. But it's fun, man. Like, it was a really good time. It was a quick campaign to go through. I don't know if it took me like 12 to 14 hours just messing around over there on it. I wasn't like speedrunning or anything on it, but and it was not remembering some of the things to do. Like I remember like the Berserker part pretty well, for example, but obviously I didn't remember this Brumach part. And when I got to Rom at the end, I was kind of like, man, what do I do to kill you, dude? I kind of forgot how, like, because you're like invincible sometimes. Like, what's going on with you? What's your deal, B? And I really enjoyed playing this game co-op too. I hadn't had the opportunity yet to play with anybody, but I know that this game just adds a whole nother level when it comes in terms of being co-op. It's the same kind of Gears of War, man, and it really puts me in an interesting spot to see that they only released this first one, and I really think it's trying to send us a message as to where the remake's gonna go. I wouldn't be shocked if, or the Gears of War 4 goes. I wouldn't be shocked, honestly. And we only saw that small snippet in E3, so there's not too much to judge over there. But I wouldn't be shocked if it's only a game that we play 2-player co-op instead of the 4. I wouldn't be shocked if they kind of toned that down a little bit, just to emphasize a little more of like the creepiness kind of aspect to it. It really looked like in the E3 trailer they were going for a little bit more of being scared of your environment, a little more of the creep factor that we had in the original Gears of War. The original Gears of War, this one that I'm showing you right now, I mean, it's not really like a scary game per se, We're not looking at like Silent Hills or something like that. We're not looking at, I was going to say Resident Evil, but that hasn't been scary in a minute. We're not looking at one of those games, but there is tension and there is some scary points. When you first go against that Berserker, it's like, oh snap, this thing just runs through walls and it's crazy and invincible. Oh, I'm about to die, Some of the clicker situations, they're called clickers, yeah. I don't know. The clickers are the ones in Last of Us 2. I don't know. What the hell those little guys are called. Some of those situations, they can get a little bit spooky scary, a little bit in the dark and the krill and whatnot. It's not necessarily what I would call something that wouldn't let me sleep at night, but there was a lot more tension there that disappeared in Gears 2 or 3 when it just became a murder everything on the damn screen, and that was good in its own sense too. I enjoyed my time playing that as well. So it'll be interesting to see if they can find a balance with that, or it'll be interesting to see if kind of this Gears of War 4 goes that way of the scary part, and then 5 and 6 go back into the machismo kind of thing, you know? We'll see how that goes. But Gears of War, man, I gave it a 9 out of 10. Very much enjoy my time with it, and all the additional content's fun as well.